8 weeks ago, I made what I thought was a very sensible decision. I bought the Garmin Epix Pro Gen 2. Let me tell you how bad of a decision that was. Before I start getting hate from the Garmin lovers out there are a few things about the Epix Pro Gen 2 that I absolutely loved. The first thing has to be battery life, because that thing was insane. The only thing that would make a dent in that battery life, other than just your day-to-day activity, was when I was playing golf using high precision GPS mode. Other than that, I was charging the watch probably once a week at best. It would just go on and on and on. If you put it into low power mode, it claimed it could go for like 30 days, something that is just inconceivable as an Apple Watch user. The second thing I really liked about the Epix Pro Gen 2 was the amount of sports you could track. And yes, I know you can track them on your Apple Watch, but it's just not even in the same league. And I think this is one of the areas where Apple Watch can really kind of pick up their game. The Garmin was able to track everything with lots of detail, with lots of information that you could really get into after you've finished your activity. Yes, you get some data from the fitness app, but the Garmin's ability to capture all of that data and give it to you in a really kind of cohesive way was something I actually really enjoyed getting into. The third thing that I liked from the Epix Pro Gen 2 was the amount of customization you can get from the watch faces. Apple are very rigid in what they allow you to do and change when it comes to their smartwatches. But with the Epix Pro Gen 2 and most Garmin watches, the amount of different watch faces that you can get, the amount of customization that you can get is just unparalleled. And it's something I quite enjoyed playing around with. Yes, you do have to get a separate app just so you can go and download the watch faces. And I found the whole user experience from using a Garmin very, very, very complex compared to an Apple Watch. But with complexity, you also get the ability to then have more choice and more freedom, which on this occasion with the Apple Watch and the Garmin, I preferred the Garmin. Hey guys, I'm just taking a minute to pause from editing this video to ask you to smash that subscribe button down below if you're enjoying the video. Now, most of you watching aren't subscribed, and I'd really love for you to just take a minute to smash that subscribe button, help grow the channel, and help me bring you more and more content. I've also got a couple of bits over here that I'm going to be reviewing on the channel very soon, the brand new M4 Mac Mini and the 7th Gen iPad Mini. So smash that subscribe button. One of the most obvious differences you'll see when you pick up both watches is just the sheer difference in size. The Garmin is an absolute mammoth on your wrist, whereas the Apple Watch Series 10 is very light, sleek and slender. It is in my opinion, perfect design for something that you want to just fit seamlessly into your life. Wearing the Gen 2 constantly with its massive size for someone who wears shirts to work every day was just so frustrating. The amount of times the shirt would get caught, whether it on top of the watch, below, it was just such a frustrating thing to wear on a day-to-day basis because it's such a beast of a watch. One of the key purposes of a smartwatch is to keep your phone in your pocket for a little bit longer, so you haven't got to keep taking it out for every minor notification. And that's where the Apple Watch is just head and shoulders for someone who lives in the Apple ecosystem. Notifications on Garmin is just clunky. You get weird graphics, you get weird information come up on the screen. It's just not cohesive. And getting that Apple Watch back on my wrist was just comforting, pleasing. It was warming. It was just everything you expect from an Apple product. The notifications just seamlessly fit back into your life. Simple things like the icons match up. So if you're getting a WhatsApp notification, you get the WhatsApp icon. If you're getting a message, you get the message app icon appear on your watch. There's just no comparison when it comes to notifications between the Garmin and the Apple Watch, and how the Apple Watch seamlessly fits into the Apple ecosystem and makes everything just cohesive and brings it all together. For someone who goes out on a few runs here and there, the Apple Watch is just unparalleled when it comes to connecting AirPods. And it wasn't something that I realized really until I actually got the Garmin and took it out for the first time. Trying to get the Garmin to connect to the AirPods Pro and vice versa was just a complete and utter headache. And once I finally got them connected, I then go to play some music with the realization that Apple Music isn't going to be on my Garmin. So then I've got the headache of trying to figure out, am I going to download Spotify? Am I going to download YouTube Music? Am I going to try something else? And yes, you've got the apps that you can download from the Garmin store, but having to go through that, buy a subscription so I don't have to listen to ads on the run, was just something that was just so frustrating. Like I've already said, one of the best things about a smartwatch is making you keep your phone in your pocket more often. And that's where Apple Pay comes in, because it is such a quick, easy and convenient way to pay for your shopping on the go. You can keep your phone in your pocket, just pay so quickly, seamlessly and effortlessly using your watch. And again, transitioning away from the Apple Watch to the Garmin, it is just so far removed from that process. Having to set up different methods of payment, and it's just something as an Apple user you don't want to do. You live in this rose-tinted world where everything is just perfectly, seamlessly, effortlessly mashed together that you don't have to think twice about things. So picking up that Garmin, putting it on the wrist, going to the store, trying to buy something, it's just frustrating. And you could argue, yeah, I'm biased, I've got Apple products everywhere, but once you're in the Apple ecosystem, you're stuck. And I think that you start to enjoy and appreciate all the seamless, effortless things that Apple do. They make your notifications easier. They make Apple Pay super easy. Everything's just meshed together in such a cohesive, simple way that when you lose that, it is so glaringly obvious. When you compare the user interfaces, there is no comparison. The Apple Watch wins hands down. From the app library on the Apple Watch, so you can get to all of your apps so easily and effortlessly, to the layout of the settings app, so you can easily navigate to all of the different things you might need to on a daily basis to try to tweak things within the watch. Everything about the Apple Watch is just so cohesive, is so logical, and it makes sense. Whereas the Garmin, I found from using it for almost 2 months, it is just a little bit more clunky. And don't get me wrong, if I'd have worn it for another 6 months, 8 months, I'd have got used to it. I'd have learned it. But the 2 months that I was wearing it on a daily basis, I just couldn't get my head around it. It wasn't logical, it wasn't sensible, it wasn't laid out in a what seemed like a cohesive way. Does it seamlessly fit into your life? And I can confidently say, with the Garmin Epix Pro Gen 2, it doesn't. If you want a watch to seamlessly integrate into your life and you're living within the Apple ecosystem, then there's nowhere else to look other than the Apple Watch Series 10. However, if you're someone who does an intense activity, something that is so specific, whether you're a hiker, whether you're a triathlete, whether you're a hardcore golfer, if you are something specific that you need the Garmin for to track that sport or that activity in such high detail, then the Garmin Epix Pro Gen 2 is a real logical, sensible choice. But if you just want something like a smartwatch to fit seamlessly into your life as an extension of your mobile phone, to make your life a little bit more easier, whilst being good at tracking most of the activities or sports you want to do, then the Apple Watch Series 10 really will be the watch for you.